You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Catch every UFC pay-per-view live in full HD at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Herd.
Listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/TheSportsFixCLE. Join The Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Hey, it's Hugh Hewitt, and when I want to know what's going on with the Cavs, the Browns, and the Tribe, I tune into Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
I'm coming. Here I am, guys. If you follow us on social media, you see those last couple of messages and tweets going out there, and sometimes the computer doesn't cooperate. Welcome in, everybody. We are here. It's Monday. J-Rock opening things up. Feeling good for a multitude of reasons, as I'm sure many of you are too. I mean, of course, the Indians. Can't wait to talk some Tribe. What a way to come storming out of the gates there to start things off. And wow, took the first three of that series this weekend with the Tigers. And boy, like, it didn't look that way. We'll get into it here in a minute. We'll open up the phones. We'll talk some Tribe. But man, it was like, what was it, the sixth inning? It took a minute Friday. Things were like, man, it looked like, what a way to come out of the break. And then it's like, what a way to come out of the break. And the Indians, way to go, Corey Kluber. There's so many heroes. We'll talk about it. And, hey, nothing to celebrate yet, but that is the way to begin this trip. You head into Minnesota now. You got to sharpen your teeth at this point, take care of business, and then equally as important, the final 4 games set there with Kansas City. We'll talk about all of that, but a great Indians weekend here, and I can't wait let's dive right into it, you guys. We got a big show going on. John McMullen from the Sports Network, he'll be with us here a little bit later on today in the first hour, talking the latest around the NFL with him as camps have begun. Some have begun. Browns begin this Saturday. We'll talk about that. Football getting into swing. We are 53, I think my math is right, 53 days away from the kickoff of football season here. So John McMullen from the Sports Network making his weekly visit with us here. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan, he'll be with us in hour 2. We're talking Indians as we always do. We'll talk about the general feeling around Cleveland right now. Some Buckeyes talk with him. Speaking of Buckeyes, before we dive too much into today's show and get into the current stuff, Wednesday, gonna have some fun. I told you guys last week it was coming. Maurice Hall, former running back for the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes back in 2002. Gonna have him join us on Wednesday, talk to him about his time at the Ohio State University, and we'll talk about his national championship. He actually scored the winning touchdowns back-to-back weeks along the run of that season, but now he's doing some acting, he's done sportscasting and all of that. Maurice Hall, he's gonna join us on Wednesday's show. I'm looking forward to that. I am fired up, guys. I hope you're feeling good. Let's do it. Welcome into the Sports Fix, each and every one of you across the Sports Fix Radio Network. Listening live on TuneIn and the TuneIn Radio app and Spreaker and Mixler, and on digital delay on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, every platform, every podcast, every download. Thank you guys so much for being with us. As I said, kicking things off, I'm the conductor of the madness here as I've been coined, J-Rock, Jerry Myers. Call me the Big Daddy on the microphone. Call me anything you wish. Just call me. Happy to be here for another Monday, another week of the Sports Fix, and I want to share it with you. I've already got calls coming in. Hit up the phone lines. Be a part of the conversation. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535, the number to call. Pick up the phone. Be a part of the show. Hit us up across our social media platforms as well. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFix, CLE, all one word. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Guys, all ways to stay in touch with the show. And remember the website, thesportsfix.net's where it all launches from every weekday at noon right here, thesportsfix.net. And also where you can catch every replay, all the social media widgets, the news headlines of the day, and so much more right there on the sportsfix.net. Before I go to the phone lines, I want to talk too, before I get into the Indians, some little things. One thing I noticed, I just got to talk about this. It's kind of a cool thing, a payoff for parenthood. So you guys know I talk about my sons all the time, man, and the whole father-son thing with sports and all of that. Here's taking it to another level and getting some payback for that. You guys know British Open, Rory McIlroy this weekend, right? And I'll tell you, that kid, it's funny, though, because it's easy to make comparisons and you say Tiger Woods. I mean, he's the third fastest to do some of the things besides Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. But then you look at the back end and you realize how hard it is, some of the expectations people put on guys. But McIlroy can play. But check this out. His dad, and of course, you got to believe in your kids anyway. But his dad got paid off for his belief in his son years back. This was pretty interesting. Back in 2004, there's three different ones here, but one of them back in 2004, Rory McIlroy's father placed a bet with a British betting, was Ladbrokes was what it was, for the American equivalent of $341. He placed a bet that his son would win the British Open within 10 years, and boom, on the 10th year, he wins the thing. For that $341 bet that he made back in 2004, the victory by his son yesterday pays him $171,000. $171,000. It's a special betting category they have. It's like a futures, a special odds request is what it is. And that wasn't the only one. His dad or other relatives, which were placed by friends of his dad is what it says. So, but the group altogether also placed bets at 250-1 odds for him to win by 2015, and also at 150-1 that he would win before the age of 50, the British Open. Both of those came true as well. Add another $136,700 to that thing. Now, obviously, the McIlroy family's okay. I mean, he won $1.6 million himself for doing this. But, man, think about that. That is combined over 300 and some thousand. I mean, ridiculous. His dad alone, nearly $200,000 on a $341 bet at the beginning of his son's career that he would pay off on that. Man, that I got a kick out of that. I said, man, there you go, man. There's a surprise 10 years later. That'll spruce Christmas up a little bit. I don't care how much money you got. You can never sneeze at $171,000. So, but there's belief in your son paying off to the ultimate and the utmost right there, man. Rory McIlroy. So I wanted to tell you guys about that. Let's get into the show. Let's go to the phone lines. But before we go to the phones, Indians. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to you guys first. We'll go to the phone lines. Let's see where you guys are at here, and we're talking some Tribe after that. Caller, you get to kick things off on the Sports Fix.
Beautiful. J-Rock.
Big Bob.
I don't know, man.
My man.
I don't know. Coming out, Big Daddy, conductor. I don't know what I'm going to call you, but all I know is we came out hot and heavy after this all-star break.
Yes,
3
absolutely.
out of 4 in Tiger Land.
Absolutely. You got to love that, too.
Unbelievable young Indian baseball.
Young Indian baseball. I love it. I love it. You know what, though? Did you guys notice the Tigers they're the opposite of the Indians. The Indians better at home than on the road. Tigers better on the road than they have been at home, and I think we saw that again this weekend. You know what else we saw? Detroit has an and we knew this, but we just keep seeing it. Their bullpen is garbage. Their bullpen
is below that. Their bullpen is below garbage.
I'm telling you, man, if you get to the bullpen on Detroit, no lead is safe for that team, whereas with the Indians, it's pretty much the exact opposite, the strength of the team there. And but I do expect them. I mean, I expect them to address that. But still, man, watching that series this weekend, even the game that the Indians lost, man, I'm telling you, there's nobody that could have came away from that saying this division is, and forget just the wild card, this division between the three teams at the top is wide open for any of the teams to take it. It's right there.
Big Daddy. It's open all the way down to the Twins. Twins are only 11 games out.
And that's true. But,
Twins are only 11 games out.
That's a bit of more of a stretch. But, yeah, I'm with you. I know what you're saying.
They're there. And we have yet to hit a stride. We have yet to have our 8, 9, 10, 11-game wins in a row. We haven't even hit that yet, which I love.
I'm telling you, Jonathan Knight.
We're still there.
Jonathan Knight and I were texting over the weekend.
The other thing I love, J-Rock, is we found ourselves another Mike Avila out in left field. We found ourselves another young Indian out in the outfield.
Another young Indian. Of course, I'm going to assume you're referring to young Mr. Dickerson?
Absolutely, young Mr. Dickerson.
I'll tell you
I know he's only been with us a few weeks. But what a beautiful, bright ray of sunshine out there in the outfield.
And I don't know how long, the stuff we've seen with him. I don't know how long you expect to get that. He's always been a guy that's had some things going for him, but never caught on for different reasons. But when a team wins a division, when a team makes a run, a season, and even if you guys think back to the Indians' glory years, back in the 90s and that, the teams were built around stars, but there was always those guys that made those contributions, whether it was for a month, whether it was for a half of a season, whatever it was.
Absolutely, 100%. As long as he gets us to November.
Without them.
I'm going to say about November 8th or November 10th, that's fine with me. But he's looking pretty damn good out there for us.
But I'll say what's funny is that we were on the air here when the Indians acquired him, actually. And what was funny is the book on him is really that offensively it's but he's very good defensively, very good in the outfield, which was important. But
absolutely.
Hey, you know what? I agree, and I'm with Bruce. I'm definitely not gonna sit here and go, yeah, all right, man, we're gonna ride him to the end. But what I'm saying is,
can't. But I mean,
for this season to be successful, you've got to get month runs out of guys you've never heard of that at the end you go, man, think about it. We might not have been here if it wasn't for this guy or for that
one
guy.
Player, two players, absolutely.
Right. So that's where I'm at. And I just say whatever we can get out of him, to me, is bonus. That's needed at this point, and those are the things that are picking up the gaps when your guys that you're counting on haven't yet got it going, although we're beginning to see some of those guys get going too. I mean, if Jason Kipnis gets unlocked, then you're looking at a run like last year.
He's going to heat up. He's pissed off he didn't get onto that all-star team from his injuries. He wants to prove the second half that he's an all-star and he's going to be there next year. He's going to come out. He's already coming out of the gate doing one heck of a job.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, Kipnis didn't. And Big Bob, anything else before I let you go?
Anything else is, baby, it all starts with baseball out there in Cleveland, man. Indians got to come first. Browns, Cavs, whoever you want to put second, third, and fourth. It's the young Indians, baby. All right, man. I love you, cats.
All right, you too, Big Bob. Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
216-539-7535. He brought up Kipnis, and we'll get into the Indians here again. We'll take a break and keep right up with this here. But Kipnis, I was talking to somebody over the weekend. I said, man, Jonathan Knight and I were texting each other back and forth. He was on the road, and was just catching up with the score of the second game Saturday, and we're texting back and forth, and he went back and listened to the show. I gotta tell you guys, I didn't do it over the weekend. By the way, this reminds me, he was on it. He was sure that we were wrong when we were looking back at his